So, good afternoon or good evening to everyone. So, this is the continuation of our lesson the last time in the subject the teacher and the school curriculum. So, after learning fundamental concepts about the curriculum, its nature and development, comes the practical phase of curriculum implementation. So, appropriately, the significance of technology in curriculum development deserves the discussion. So, this is what we are going to tackle for today's discussion. So, the role of technology in delivering the curriculum. So, we all know that the role of technology in the curriculums springs from the very vision of the E-Philippines plan, or the E stands for the electronic. So, thus, it is stated that an electronically enabled society where all citizens live in an environment that provides quality education, efficient government services, greater sources of livelihood, and ultimately a better way of life through enhanced access to appropriate technologies. So, this is what we are going to discuss. So, let us first define the instructional media. So, instructional media, also referred to as media technology or learning technology, as simply the technology. So, technology plays a crucial role in delivering instruction to learners because technology offers various tools of learning, and this range from non-projected and projected media from which the teacher can choose. So, depending on what he or she sees fit with the intended instructional setting. So, for example, will a chalkboard presentation be sufficient in illustrating a mathematical procedure? So, will a video clip be needed for motivating learners? So, in the process, we use the objective matching where the teacher decides on what media or technology to use to help achieve the set learning objectives. So, for example, we have the non-projected media. So, this is, if we compare to the old era, this is our traditional media. So, we use field trips, we use real objects, we use printed materials like books, like worksheets or modules. When it comes to visual naman, we use photographs, we use drawing. So, while on the projected media, this is what we call the instructional media. So, we use films, we use video, DVD, VCD, the computer, the multimedia presentations, and etc. So, let's proceed to the factors in technology selection. So, in deciding on which technology to use from a wide range of media, the factors on which to be selection are: number one is the practicality. So this is the equipment, or what we call the hardware, and already prepared lesson material. This is what we call the software. If not, what would be the cost in acquiring the equipment or producing the lesson in audio or the visual form? So next one is the appropriateness in relation to the learners. So, for example, is the medium suitable to the learner's ability to comprehend, or will the medium be a source of a plain amusement or entertainment but not learning? So, we need to consider also the appropriateness of the media or the technology or the methods we will use in relation to the objectives of our discussion. Next is the activity or suitability. So, will the chosen media fit the set instructional event or resulting either information, motivation, or psychomotor display? So, we need to determine first if the activity we have is if related or inclined with our objectives, or we need to identify it if it's for the activity for the motivational or for the lesson proper, and etc. Next is the objective matching. So overall, does the medium help in achieving the learning objectives? So you need also to determine as a general if it's the technology you will use is for the learning proper or for others, or is it inclined with your objectives, and so on. So let's proceed to the role of technology in curriculum delivery. So it can easily be observed that technological innovation in the multifarious fields of commerce, science, and education is fast developing, such as it is difficult to foresee the technological revolution in the millennium. So, inclusive of educational changes. However, technological changes in education will make its impact on the delivery of more effective, efficient, and humanizing teaching and learning. So, for now, the primary roles of educational technology in delivering the school curriculum's instructional program have been identified with the following. So, number one is upgrading the quality of teaching and learning in schools. So, compared to the traditional teaching method, it is more upgraded into a more interesting method of teaching because we use already the technology. Second one is increasing the capability of the teacher to effectively inculcate learning and for students to gain mastery of lessons and courses. So of course, we use already technology. It is become more interesting for the learners to learn because of some effects of your presentations or you use cell phones or different technologies. um, Next is the broadening the delivery of education outside the schools through non-traditional approaches to formal and informal learning, such as open universities and lifelong learning to adult learners. So compared to the traditional approaches of learning, you need to go to school and have or conducted a face-to-face class. But now, since we have technologies, you can you can innovate, you can use technology to teach your students, just like we have right now. So next is revolutionizing the use of technology to boost educational paradigm shifts that give importance to student-centered and holistic learning. So, these primary roles are based on the framework of what we call the TPACK, or the technological knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and the content knowledge. So, TPACK shows that there is a direct interconnectedness of the three components. Thus, in teaching learning process, a teacher should always ask and find the correct answer to the following questions for every lesson. So, for example, in the content knowledge, we have what shall I teach in the content knowledge. While on the pedagogical knowledge, we have how shall I teach the content. In the technological knowledge, what technology will I use in how to teach or how to teach the content. So, this is the concept of the TPACK. So, technological knowledge, the pedagogical knowledge, and the content knowledge. So, what are the criteria to be considered for the use of visual aids? So, since we are talking about the importance of technology or the roles of technology in the teaching process. So, learners say we learn 83%. We learn 83% through the use of our sight. So, I want you to remember that 83% that we learn is by our sight. So compared with less effective ways to learn, we have hearing of 10%, smell of 4%, and touch and taste for 2% in the 1%. In the use of visual for a wide range of materials, for example, visual boards, charts, overhead transparencies, slides, computer-generated presentations, these are the basic principles of basic design. So, this is how to assess a visual material or a presentation using the following criteria. So I want you to listen and to be familiarized on how to make or what are the criteria to be considered in making or using the visual aids. So number one is lettering style or font. So you need to make sure in choosing a lettering style or font it should be consistent and harmonized to the other or to the next presentation. Next is number of lettering styles. So no more than 2 in a static display. Okay, no more than 2 in a static display. The use of capitals. So a short titles or headlines should be no more than 6 words. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for example, to this, it's not more than 6 words. Next is lettering color. So it's easy to see and read. Use of contrast in good for emphasis. So for example, the color of my presentation is pink. If I will put here a black, maybe it is not good in the eyes of the learners, or it is not complementary to the color. So you need to make sure that the color of your background harmonize or consistent to the color of your lettering. Next is lettering size. So good visibility even for students at the back of the class. You need also size of your lettering. Na you need to make sure that even the students at the back can see your presentation. So just like this is, I think I use 40 to 60 lettering size. Next is spacing between letters. So equal and even spacing. So you need to make sure also your spacing is properly indicated in your presentation. It's not too crowded. It's not too spacious and something like that. Next is spacing between lines. So not too close as to blur at a distance. So you need to make sure also your spacing between the lines. So for example, the spacing between 6 and number 7, it should not be too close to each other and not too far away to each other. Next is number 8, number of lines. So no more than 8 lines of text in each transparency line. So for example, I just use 5 items here. So because it's not appropriate if I will use or I will include it here too much information. Next is appeal. So unusual, catchy, two-dimensional, interactive, use overlays or movable flops. So for example, I use here a movable animation because I will stay here more than a minute, so I need to catch your attention. Next is use of directional. So devices. So for examples are arrows, bold letters, bullets, contrasting color and size, special placements of an item. So if it's criteria like this, you need to use numbering, or you can use bullets or anything. So that's all for our lesson for today, or our discussion for today. So it's more on the role of technology in delivering the curriculum, since we are done with the basic until the implementation of the curriculum. So thank you very much for listening, and the link of your quiz will be sent to our official group chat. So thank you very much.